Welcome back to African Podcast. We're back this time with the World Cup segment. So if you didn't watch the intro, you go back and watch it. If you didn't watch the first part of this, go back and watch it. We talked about the fact that Africa has 10 countries that qualified for the World Cup,
For
right?
the first time ever.
For the first time ever. And two of those countries qualified after 50 something years, like 50 plus years of missing.
Which ones?
Oh my God. One country.
Only one.
I actually.
But you have one that never participated before.
Yes.
Which is Cabo Verde. And then, one country that hasn't been there for 52 years, which is the Congo. So, yeah.
That is too funny. I like Haitians. So I was actually thinking about Haiti. But let's go back. So we have Africa, a continent with 54 countries, and 10 of those 54 countries qualified for the World Cup for the first time ever. This is a big deal for the continent, as we said before, right? But now we have to take a little bit of a turn, right? We have to go talk about the players. We have some really great players in the continent. Representing the continent, let's say that, because a lot of them live in Europe or other parts of the world where they play the club level sports, right? But we have some players, there are questions that we need to ask. So the first question that I have for you is, who is the face of African football right now?
My face of African football, you mean?
Which player represent African football right now? Who is the best player representing the continent?
Best player or the player when they talk about, let's say we talk about African football, that's the first name that comes into your mind.
When we talk about African football, what's the name that comes to your mind?
Right now?
Yes.
I'll say Achraf Hakimi.
Are you mad?
I'm not.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Who do you have in mind?
Really?
Yes.
How many people out there actually know about Hakimi? Aside from his whole marriage scandal where he, divorced his wife and she didn't get anything.
2026, right, we're talking about somebody top 10 Ballon d'Or, African Ballon d'Or, final, he plays the final of the AFCON, won every trophy that he could have won this season except for the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody knows Achraf Hakimi when it comes to football. He's the best right back right now in the world. So what do you mean?
But you think people are thinking about him when they talk about African football?
Yes.
They are thinking about Hakimi.
He's a captain of Morocco.
He's the captain of Morocco. Honestly, let's be honest. We have players like Mohamed Salah. Okay. We have Sadio Mané, right? And you're going to sit here and tell me that when people think about African football, they're going to think about Hakimi. I know Hakimi is doing well in Europe. Hakimi is doing well in Europe. Morocco just stole the AFCON Cup from Senegal.
There is no verdict when it comes to the result.
Okay. They're trying to steal that. Are you counting that as one of the trophies that he has won?
There is no verdict yet. Okay, it's a process. I cannot rule in place and time of all the international instances of sport. So, but with you talking about Mo Salah and Sadio Mane was at some point, same for Mohamed Salah, were the faces of African football. I would say from 2017 to 2020. But we're in 2026 right now.
And you think people have already forgotten about Mohamed Salah? And Sadio Mané
I'm just saying that people think about the captain of a team that reached the semifinal of the last World Cup, the final of this World Cup, a man that was in the top 5 discussion of the Ballon d'Or this year as a defender. We're talking about a masterpiece of a super team, one of the best teams ever.
PSG.
When it comes to the content of football, because when you put 2011 Barcelona and 2025 PSG team, that means you acknowledge that PSG team is one of the best teams that ever existed, and we're talking about a masterpiece of that team, second captain of that team,
second
after Marquinhos for sure, and we're talking about a guy that reached the final of the AFCON as a captain. He is definitely an African Ballon d'Or this year for sure. He's definitely the face of this league.
For Africans?
Yes.
You see, half of those achievements, half of the achievements you mentioned, he did not earn those achievements with his African country. He did not earn those achievements with the African country.
Okay, so what did Mo Salah achieve with his African country?
Mo Salah is the only player, he's the player that carries Egypt at every level of competition. Mo Salah is the only player.
So you want to tell me? You want to tell me
You be talking about Sadio Mané.
So you want to tell me that players like Trezeguet and Marmoush don't carry that team?
They do play, but Mo Salah has a bigger impact. And when we
Hakimi doesn't have a bigger impact in the Moroccan team.
My argument here is going to be mostly for Sadio Mané.
You mentioned both of them, though.
I did mention both of them because that's like who I think is the first of African football right now. If we're gonna sit here and talk about the AFCON final, Sadio Mané was there. He won fair and square, but now Hakimi is about to be handed that trophy because
just because he won it makes him the face of the continent.
Not just because he won it, because you can see between the two of them.
Where does Sadio Mané play? Where is Sadio Mané playing right now? We're talking about 2026 right now. So tell me, where is Sadio Mané playing right now? We're talking about right now. I think Sadio Mané was the face in 2019 for sure. 2020 for sure. We're talking about right now. In 2026, where is Sadio Mané playing? So, in overall, for me, Hakimi is the current face of the African football for sure. For her, it's Sadio Mané because she lives in the past. Let's move on.
I don't live in the past. Mandem is still playing. Mandem is going to be at the World Cup.
Okay, Hakimi, so is Hakimi.
I know, but what I'm saying
Hakimi plays on a higher level.
I'm not living in the past.
Hakimi is playing on the higher level. Right?
Magically, they're both in the World Cup, and one of them, they're both playing at level. But right now, if we're talking about the World Cup,
Mané is playing at Al Nassr. Hakimi won everything this year. He's on a higher level. Let's move on to the next one. What's the question? Tell us, who is the face of the African football right now? Is it Achraf Hakimi or Sadio Mané?
So, speaking about my captain, my boss, the face of Africa. So now, let's talk about Sadio Mané. Are you going to prefer prime Sadio Mané or current African stars? Who are you taking right now?
In terms of what?
Everything. His skill.
I'll choose Brian Sipenga. And I'm choosing Brian Sipenga because I'm biased.
Okay, so now you're not going to choose Hakimi?
Because I'm going position for position.
My God. We're not talking just position. We're talking about in general. We're talking about players in general. There are a lot of current stars like Ahmad that are really good.
Well, I will take gladly Achraf Hakimi or Aaron Van Bissaka before I take Sadio Mané, of course.
Ooh, okay. We move. Let's talk about African players that are playing in this World Cup. Which African player leaves this World Cup a global superstar?
What do you mean?
Which African player is going to have a great impact that everybody is going to be talking about them?
Sure, I can't tell.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
African players come with a lot of pressure and expectations, and sometimes they fail to deliver. So I don't really know who will leave as a global superstar.
Oh, so you don't want to answer this question because you're afraid of disappointment?
I'm not afraid. I'm just saying that you cannot predict based on past occurrences.
No, it's not past. You've watched them qualify for the World Cup.
Like all the teams before too?
Yes.
It's not the first time we have African teams in the World Cup.
This is the first time we have 10 African teams.
Great, but we've had African teams and better teams before in the past.
So let's go back to that question where we talked about, would you take Sadio Mané in his prime or current stars? And you selected to take the current stars. So why did you select to take the current stars? Because I think one of them will lead.
Because I told you I'm biased as a PSG and Congo supporter. I go for Achraf Hakimi and Brian Sipenga. That's it.
So you think Sipenga is going to surprise everybody then?
No. I'm not expecting anything. Then I'm choosing. That's it.
Okay. So I actually feel like, does France count?
As what?
I mean, the whole team is African players. No. But the whole team is African players. For me, I actually feel like Ahmad is going to surprise a lot of people. Ahmad and no.
Oh, Diomande. I can go for Diomande here.
Remember in AFCON.
Okay.
A lot of people didn't expect him to step up the way he stepped up.
Yes, people were. You were starting winger for Manchester United. You play for Ivory Coast. What do you mean people are not expecting you?
People, because he's so young and inexperienced.
Young and inexperienced?
Merdi, did you at any point think that he was going to score a goal?
Yeah.
Oh my God, please.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
please.
Please.
But it's not enough. What he did is not enough for you to think that he's going to shock the world.
It's like you're telling me that you don't expect players like Brian Burmo or Yohan Wissa to score at the AFCON. Even though...
No, I don't expect them. But they surprised me and do it. What? You just said all this thing about not setting expectations because you said expectations and then...
AFCON.
But listen, he has great potential. I did not say he will be the best player at the World Cup. I'm just saying, based on what I saw in his performance in the AFCON, which helped him get to a point where he's here.
I agree with that. But
I feel like he might surprise a lot of people.
That's what I'm saying. It's fine, but like I agree. I disagree with the fact that you say you were not expecting Ahmad to perform at the AFCON.
I didn't say I was not expecting him.
That's what you said.
I said I didn't expect him to be the one to score the goals.
Who were you expecting?
He's not. I expect the number 9 to perform. And I also feel like Bakambu said...
You expect the number 9 in 2026? Like, football has changed, man.
But we're going to sit here and we literally talked about Mohamed Salah and how people should respect his game regardless of how he's performing or not. We shouldn't have expectation for him to score goals. But here we're going to talk about we should have expectations for Burma to score. We should have expectations for...
I did not say that we should have expectation for X and not for Y. I'm just saying that I'm not surprised that Ahmad scored a goal at the AFCON because he's that type of player. That's what I said.
Okay, so you think it's him?
That man is a great player.
Okay, then he agrees with me the fact that Ahmad might surprise all of you people and be the most talked about player.
I did not say he's going to be the most talked about player. Like I said, I have no expectation based on the historical past.
And also, I think Cedric Bakambu.
Next.
Okay.
This or that. Well. Let's go back to the Moroccan team. So, in your opinion, what matters more? The fact that Morocco had a great run in 2022 or Morocco could win the AFCON? In other words, what matters more in your hierarchy of priority? Winning the AFCON or reaching the furthest possible in the World Cup?
It
could be Morocco because we choose Morocco because Morocco was the first team to reach the semifinal.
Yeah.
So let's say if with Morocco's performance in 2022 and Morocco winning the AFCON, no matter the way, let's say they won the AFCON with no polemic this year, what would have been for you the greatest run? Winning the AFCON or reaching the semifinals of the World Cup as an African nation?
Okay, this is my perception as a former athlete. If you don't win the trophy, regardless of how far you go, you didn't do enough to me. So I would rather have won the AFCON and have the trophy to show that my team was great. We did what we needed to do to win, and you won. Not going to semifinals. You know what hurts the most? I would rather be disqualified after the group stage than make it to the semifinal and not end up winning. That hurts more than anything in this world. And as a fan, if I can feel that hurt, that pain, I can't imagine what the players go through.
I agree.
So for me, I'd rather have the AFCON win and win an actual trophy to show I can put it in here.
I mean, honestly, I do believe an AFCON trophy tops every other medal that is not a gold medal in the competition. I would rather win an AFCON trophy than reaching the final of the World Cup and lose. Now, if I win the World Cup, it's different. But like, if I win the AFCON and I lose it at the final, I'll still consider that a win to win the AFCON.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Because you're still playing against teams that have like prime athletes, right? Like you're still competing at a very high level. I mean, the World Cup is a little bit different because you're going against like people like...
Because they never won the AFCON 20 years ago.
What is wrong with you?
Right now, the African Cup of the Nations, yes. We're getting there. Copa America, we're coming for y'all. So, as for African players, and I'm talking about African players only, and Africa and African countries, do you choose what tops, club success or national team legacy? So for an African nation to be considered a football nation, does it only have to be the success of the national team or also
those players' success at the
club levels? And I'm talking about African clubs first.
Here's the thing. For me, as me, right? If I was to answer this as me, I would say my national team legacy, because imagine this. No. Hear me out. I would say national team legacy because for me as a Congolese person, right? I want to give my country hope. To hope for something. It's going to go far beyond just me winning. I will not be doing it just for myself, right? I will be doing it for my country. Let's say if any of the Congolese players perform well, we appreciate them. We love them. They give us hope. Getting us to the World Cup 52 years later. We will forever remember these players as players that gave us hope and put our country in the light where everybody's talking. Made teams scared. Imagine Portugal. Imagine Ronaldo. all the heat, like, the conversation. People are talking about Congo. And Ronaldo is sitting at home strategizing on how he's going to beat the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's national level. This is legacy.
Okay.
Right?
Now we're talking about African club first. We're going to get there. I'm talking about national team-wise. We're going to get for players later. And I'm talking about team-wise. So what makes an African nation a nation of football? The fact that your national team is better, or the fact that your clubs, your domestic clubs, run the continent?
I think domestic clubs, actually. I might have to change now. No. I think that team legacy. I'll stick with the team legacy. No,
it's a combination of both. What is the best African team ever for you? When we talk about football in Africa, what is the country of football in Africa? Which one is the first for you?
For me, funny enough, I was thinking about Cameroon. Oh my God. But no, I thought about Cameroon and Senegal. I'm not even going to lie to you.
So Cameroon and Senegal top Egypt.
Well, no, but you asked me what country came to mind first.
No, but which one is the first? Actually, which one is the first for you?
I wouldn't say Egypt, though.
Okay. For everybody's Egypt. And do you know why? They have the most AFCONs.
They do.
And their teams, like Al Ahly, is a club with the most African Champions Leagues. You have clubs like Zamalek, and now you got Pyramid that is coming. Most of the AFCONs won by Egypt were not won with a team with players playing outside of the Egyptian Championship.
That is very true. You do have a point there.
And even those who qualify for the World Cup, Egypt always has at the most probably 5 players playing outside of Egypt.
So they're very loyal.
It's a combination of both. Yeah. Yes, you're going to talk about Cameroon. Yes, people say Cameroon is a nation of football, and I like debating.
I think the pride. No, I think for me, I wasn't thinking more on terms of like, who is going to win, like who's winning outside or who's playing, like who has more loyal players. I was thinking about the feeling that people get, like how much people are involved. Egyptians remind me of Manchester City fans. I'm not even going to lie. Their team could be doing one of the best things, but their reaction is always going, oh, well, we won. Oh, we won. But then I think about Cameroonians. They will be flags are flying. The fans are more excited. There's so much joy. Egyptians, like Manchester City fans, they're just quiet about it.
They are quiet because they don't speak your language. They speak Arabic. If you go to the Arab world, you will know that they're actually there. They are these people. It's just because we argue with Cameroon. And speaking of Cameroon, the reason why I asked that question is because I've been going back and forth with a lot of Cameroonian fans that say that, Congo, because I'm Congolese, remember? Yep. Congo should always stick to music and they're not the nation of football. And I'm like, hold on. If you want to talk about national team-wise, I will give it to y'all. You have 5 AFCONs, no African championships. We have 2 AFCONs and 2 African championships. So on the African level, you have 1 more trophy when it comes to national teams. When it comes to World Cup participation, they have 7, we have 2. They're top. Now let's go to clubs. How many Cameroonian team can stand up and say we won more championship in the African scene than Tepe Mazembe? How many? Like, I haven't heard about Coton, Tonnerre de Yaoundé. Bro, like, that was from my dad's time. Like, we don't hear about the Cameroonian clubs on the African scene. And we have a Congolese team that won 5 Champions League, 3 Cup of Confederations, and another team that won 1 Champions League, which is the DCMP. And you want to tell me that you are national football, we not? While we top, we go band for band with Egyptian teams on the African scene? That's what I'm saying. I'll give it to you. You want to tell me that your country is better when it comes to national team. Great. But don't come and tell me that we should stick to music just because our national team is not doing better while we're doing way better on the club team in the continent.
I think they're saying that because they're salty. 1, we sent them home. They could have been at the World Cup. Are we going to do that?
I would choose. Really going to do that? It's not because we are better that they're bad. It's not because we are better that they're bad. They have good music.
They do, but they suck compared to us. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're
suck.
bad.
We just are. They don't suck. We just are better. They have legends like Manu Dibongo and Charlotte Dipanda that I love, but we are better. But it doesn't mean that they suck. But like, they're not jealous. They just, they are prideful. We are prideful, and we'll never let it down.
Yeah. Telling us to stick to music, though. Listen,
we're coming for this. We're coming for them.
Cameroonians, if you're watching this, I've been writing for you. I was here trying to defend you, and then you managed to let me down. So if you're watching this, be careful what you say. Be careful what you say.
But now we were talking about national team-wise.
Next.
Do you think that African players choose European countries for trophies or for chances of winning trophies?
No, they don't.
Then why do they choose European countries?
There's a lot of reasons why they choose European countries.
Such as?
Because there's opportunities there for them to participate at a higher level. They have a lot of things like trainers. They have access to better diet. They have other benefits that are good for their health, compared to a lot of African countries.
I want to break down that narrative. I want to break it because there is a narrative that when players of African descent choose to play for European countries, it's just because of all the logistic aspect that you give. Better level, better organization is good. And when they choose to play for Africa, they play with the heart. But you have to also remember that they were born there, grew up there.
I know, but somehow the people there don't accept them the way the people back home still accept them. Their African roots.
Also,
look at Vinicius Jr. He literally experiences racism over and over again for the country that he's been representing his whole life. Those people bully him. They call him racial slurs all the time.
In Brazil?
Yes. In Brazil and outside of Brazil.
Okay.
And he's been representing this country. He's been sweating for it. Now imagine.
Okay, so you have a minority of people. It did not happen toward Vinicius from Brazilian stars. It happened in Europe. It's different. But what I'm saying is,
Brazilian fans were also doing the same thing to him.
That's what I'm saying. You always have racist fans everywhere, even in Africa. But what I'm saying is, we have to stop thinking that when those players play for Europe, they don't choose European countries because they love the country they were born. They love the country they grew up in. They love the country that made them who they are, and they want to represent these countries.
We need to stop thinking like that. Well, nobody said they didn't choose you for that.
It's a narrative that goes along
it is.
We have to break it because it's not true. Them players play these countries. They love these countries.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
I actually disagree. I feel like a lot of these players, because they see, let's think Olympics, right? No, let me give you an example. Nigeria is a very advanced country in Africa compared to a lot of African countries, right? They're very advanced. They have infrastructure. They have ways that they can support their players or their athletes to perform at different levels, right? But they had the most Nigerians representing other European countries at the Olympics than representing Nigeria.
Yes.
And people were pissed off. And those players came back. No. People were pissed off that these people that are Nigerian athletes, they are pissed off against the government because those players were interviewed and they all said the reason why they chose to go and represent those other countries is because they did not given the resource and the backing and the support by their own country, by their own government. The government did not register them to go and compete at the Olympics. The government did not give them the facilities to train and go perform at the Olympics. So they decided to register to go to other countries, which gave them the visas and the citizenship to go and do that.
That's one case. But when we talk about the rest of it,
it's one case by a lot of different athletes. Not only the Nigerian athletes, there's a lot of other countries like Cameroon. Those athletes came and said the same thing. And this is at Olympics level. Now imagine at this club level.